Hey, this is part 2 of a response to James Yeager's bug out video and some things I've seen in some other people's bug out trailer things. I'm building this as kind of a mobile workshop, basically, but it's also serves a purpose that a lot of people would state in some of those bug out trailers. One of the things that we talk about on this stuff is fuel storage. And you'll notice, and one of the things that you're not going to see here is flammable shit, okay? There's a reason why I've spent a couple $1,000s on solar equipment, some of which went bad and I had to replace. But I'm working out the bugs and all of that and gotten to where everything works right. Looks a little goofy, but you got to realize I'm setting up to run a lot of power tools. I can recharge anything cordless. I can run communications equipment. I can run that welder. Okay, I can run small welders, all without running a generator. So I don't need a generator. Now, for the vehicles to get from point A to point B, right, out of the city, okay, don't wait to the last minute to bug out. Okay, I'm into orderly evacuation, not, oh shit, I waited too long, now I gotta go. Storing fuel in urban areas creates a legal problem with all those 5-gallon cans. It creates a safety problem with all that flammable shit, and people who might not like you simply dump out a couple of your cans, throw a match down, and guess what? All your preps are gone. So I don't deal with that fuel situation much at all, except for if I get any hint of any issue coming up, I just make sure my vehicles are topped off. Any vehicle sold in the United States at this point in history has to be able to travel 300 miles on a single tank full. The furthest retreat location I would expect to go to is around 400 miles away. If I were to have to take side roads or back roads, I would be stopping at waypoints anyway and obtain fuel along the way. So I have exactly 1 spare fuel can. I might increase that to 2. I might increase that at the last minute in order to make sure that I have fresh fuel for a bug out situation. Once I get to a survival retreat place, I don't expect to need to be leaving anytime soon. I've taken power with me. I have power pre-staged out there. And I expect to, over time, have fuel pre-staged at a couple of different survival retreats. If you cannot trust the people or the situation at a survival retreat to have fuel pre-positioned there so that you could leave, then you probably shouldn't be bugging out there. Okay, it's probably not a good idea. If you cannot trust that situation to have fuel pre-positioned there, it's probably also not safe to transport it there either. And I have fuel in the vehicles and 1 gas can at the most, which is on the front of this thing. So no, I don't believe in storing a whole bunch of fuel for bug out. Now, having fuel at a survival retreat, sure, but that's at a safe location, and that's basically for local use there. And the way I'm developing the place, that's relatively temporary too, because we have enough solar power generation to be able to recharge and run electric vehicles. Repurposed golf carts, there's some electric quads out there. As far as scooting around retreat area, bicycles and electric vehicles are going to do just fine. As far as transporting a lot of water, same issue. If the place you're going to doesn't have sufficient water, you pick the wrong retreat location. Okay, that's basically it. Water is heavy, 8 pounds per gallon. I'll transport enough water to use for a trip, but if I need to transport enough water to live on, that's just not, you gotta have specialized water trucks for that. So, 10, 20 gallons, RV tank full, that's it. That's the most I would go with. I mean, it's nice to have a lot of gas cans. It's nice to have that as a resource. I'm not gonna deal with that much water in my rig. I have I think it's a 25-gallon can here that maybe I would fill up, because actually here in Portland, Oregon, the city water's a little better than well water elsewhere. So maybe I would take that with me, maybe not. I have enough empty space here that I can make up my mind in the last couple hours on what I would take with me. So fuel, you know, I'm really not into that big pile of gas cans. I can see some logic in it, but I'm not sure if I'm with that. The other, because I really don't like the weight issue in that, and I don't like the storage complication, and I don't like having a bunch of really dangerous flammable shit around. My welding outfits, you will not see oxyacetylene anywhere around here. I use electric welders, and if I need to cut stuff, I have a plasma cutter. It's not a real good plasma cutter. I'm going to get a better one in the future, but not into having a whole lot of flammable shit around. Propane, I saw the big propane bottle. That's neat. I would really kind of be a little more inclined to have multiples on a smaller propane bottle. Again, that thing's a target for somebody. You know, somebody who doesn't like you, who has tracers, you're going to have a real bad time and lose everything. So that's my thoughts on that. On the fuel and the water situation, you got to have that pre-stage at locations. What you bug out with should just really be only what you need for the trip. Although I don't know what your personal situation is or how much ground you expect to need to cover. That's your call. But my thoughts on it are in this video. The video probably doesn't matter a whole lot compared to the audio. So if you want to listen while not watching, that's just fine. You'll get the same message.